What up with it, YouTube? It's Coffee back with an update. Things have been quiet on the Diddy front as far as the case goes, other than more accusers coming forth civilly. That's what's been so wild about the Diddy case in many ways. If you ask me, let me know if you agree. You know what I mean? That there's the criminal side of things with the Fed case, but then also all the civil allegations. And, if you ask Diddy via his attorneys, he'll say that this is all any of this is nothing more than a shakedown and people wanting to come forth and get their payday. That individuals saw that, you know, people were getting a bag out of Diddy. So more people came forth. And maybe in some instances that's true, maybe not. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the buttons. As always, it's all about hearing from the people over here on this channel. But it's so crazy that that's in a sense how this case started. Lawsuits, the feds end up raiding his crib, the video leaks, the feds don't come forth with charges right away. Then they do arrest him, and he happens to be at the airport when they raid him. There's just so much wild stuff to all this. It's really been something, man. It was really crazy too to see the reports of the now deceased mother of Biggie Smalls, R.I.P. Valletta Wallace, speaking her piece too, saying that, like Diddy kind of pulled the wool over her eyes, if you will, and like she thought at one point he was a good dude, but I feel like she said she actually would like to slap him upside the head. Rest in peace to her. But here we are now, and DJ Vlad has an update, and you see the time frame here. Diddy is going to trial in 4 weeks, so here we are, y'all. Trial is upon us. This is going to be a huge trial, man, for all the marbles, in a sense. It's going to be facing a gang of time. I spoke to a lawyer close to the case. He said the case is winnable, but Diddy's eagerness to quickly go to court is going to significantly hurt his chances of winning. He should have pushed the trial to next year to give his defense time to make their case. And then Vlad asked, do you think Diddy is beating this case? And I was going to say, when I saw that he said 4 weeks out from trial, here we are, I was kind of like, man, that's been pretty fast in a sense, even though it's been mute as far as on the news front, really updates in the case. It's kind of felt like, to me, again, there's been hella news about lawsuits and allegations. Man, there was one a little while back. I don't know if you guys saw it about, it was like a lawsuit that had already came forth to the news, but there was a newer update on it where there was this one individual where it kind of felt like it was a shakedown, where this girl was saying she went to a bar. Did y'all hear this one? This girl said she went to a bar and there was some guy outside of the bar on a FaceTime with Diddy, and she got on FaceTime with him like, yo, fuck you, you had Pac killed. I was about to say cop killed. Pac killed. Why was I going to say cop killed? Pac killed. Jeez Louise, man. My brain is malfunctioning a bit on me today. But she told him off like, yo, you had Pac killed. You ain't ish, this, that, and the third. And then one way or another, she ends up at a party with the same people or something like that. And horrible things happened to her, and the police were in on it and covered it up. I don't know. It just kind of rang a little untrue to me on that one, But let me know if you've seen some lawsuits in this case that you felt were shakedowns, or you tend to possibly believe them all. But yeah, I'm like, man, that seems kind of quick to go to trial. Sometimes these cases with the feds can drag out over years. And according to Vlad, who has spoke to an insider, an attorney very, very close to the case, that attorney said, man, Diddy's pushing this thing. He's getting antsy in there. He's sitting on his hands, pause. He wants this to be over with, that if he would have pushed it back another year, the defense would be giving him a better defense, if you will. They would have a leg up on the feds, and they could have better chances at winning. I'm kind of shocked that that's the word that Diddy is saying. Nah, we're going to trial now. What do you guys think about it all? Are you surprised that it's already going to be trial time? Does it seem quick to you as well? Let's see what some of the people are seeing here. I'll be real. I still don't even know what he's charged with. The 100 show, which I guess this is Whack 100's page now. His personal page is gone, right? It's the 100 show and the 100 side. This year, next year, what's the difference? Every 3 months they come with a new charge. So I don't think they're actually charges, right? They're civil allegations. Someone says, right, and they tell you because you working. They want to milk them for money to weaken them financially. Bunch of gifts. The lawyer knows what he's talking about. That's his field. You're just a loudmouth on Clubhouse. How the fuck is Whack working with the feds on Diddy? Y'all just typing dumb-ish. Let me guess, you got a call on this one. He's only guilty of beating Cassie, but that's not what he's in jail for. Well, they said why he's in jail for, but I believe they meant what he's in jail for. So, of course, he should be found not guilty. This case is just about humiliating a successful black man and putting him in his place. Comment if you agree with that. That's kind of a two-sided comment there. One being that the Cassie tape, that for sure he's guilty of that, but that's not axe trafficking and all this other stuff, and it's a horrible thing that happened, but it's not what the feds are coming at him with criminally, trying to put him in jail forever and a day. But it was so wild to me still that tape leaked out at the exact time when it did, opportunistically, in a sense. You know what I mean? That like the court of public opinion is a very powerful thing. And it's just so crazy, too, the amount of people that had to be privy to that and were able to, play a part, and did play a part in keeping that thing under wraps. Like, there had to be a good amount of people that worked at the hotel and worked for Diddy, or just, I don't know. I feel like a good amount of people had to have knowledge about that, and they were able to keep it under wraps. And then boom, it comes out right when it does. It's crazy. What do you guys all think about that? The way that plays a factor as far as, again, he's not charged with that. He's charged with some ex trafficking and wild freak off party ish, but that plays a big factor in the image of Diddy and the way people look at him. Someone says, you're speaking to lefty lawyers who cover sports and showbiz scandals. Ask tested lawyers who have litigated similar cases, and they'll tell you the feds have nothing solid against Diddy away from the emotional stirs of the Cassie beating. So there you hear it, the emotional stirs of the Cassie beating. They're saying that's all that they got. This individual says, I don't know, all that left-right-ish. I don't know, man. If it's winnable, why does the defense need more time? Hey, going up against the feds is no small order. In a case with no evidence, the feds play differently. They got a high conviction rate. Now, some will say the high conviction rate is because people cop a plea because they're scared to go to trial because of the years, the football numbers that the feds get to talking about. I wonder what the federal conviction rate is specifically with cases that go to trial. I'd like to look that up. Someone says, Puff coming home, all circumstantial evidence, nothing will stick. Criminal defense lawyer here. It might be a gamble, but the flip side is that the government often indicts a case and then assumes it has years to prepare for trial. So sometimes demanding a speedy trial works in your favor. Only time will tell whether it pays off here. So interesting. We were just talking about the timeline with the feds and the way these cases can draw out. That particular attorney there was saying, that the attorney that spoke to Vlad saying Diddy's forcing this thing quick. That the attorneys say it's winnable, but they would like another year. This particular attorney saying no, that can put the feds at a disadvantage with the way they play. Somebody's lying because I need another report that Diddy was pushing for a June trial date. People, we are living in a world today that if a source cannot be revealed, it is more than likely to be fake news. So this guy is leery of it all. Praying for a fair trial for Diddy. What do you guys think? Does he have a shot at a fair trial, or do you think the Cassie situation kind of made a lot of individuals' minds up for them already right then and there? He gonna win? Diddy isn't going to trial in 4 weeks. These cases always get pushed back. So this person don't believe it's going to happen in 4 weeks. Nah, the scapegoat behind all the nefarious activities these elites be doing. So they need somebody to punish so it look like they care about. Rico has 10 to 12 predicate offenses, and he only has to be found guilty of 2. So bribery, payment of that video at a hotel, arson, Kid Cudi Karen, 1 victim is alleged, kidnapping, 1-man enterprise. Others have gotten immunity, I'm sure. So with the talks of others having immunity, that's another way the feds play. If you have people involved in certain instances, they get those people to say, hey, I'll cooperate. I'll get on the stand if need be. I'll do whatever you need from me. Just let me go free. I wonder who they got on the witness list. You know what I'm saying? Like who close to Diddy, who ain't trying to go away forever in a day, that will corroborate the allegations and all that. I'm intrigued to see that. Someone says it has to be a criminal enterprise, though. LOL, not just separate crimes. That is indeed true when it comes to the whole RICO thing. The crimes have to be committed in furtherance of the criminal enterprise, past and present crimes of the criminal enterprise. Nope, it doesn't. Google RICO. R. Kelly was charged same way. Yeah, but R. Kelly was, and people get mad at me all the time. I was a huge R. Kelly fan, but he was a sick creep, man. He was running around the country for years, crossing state lines, violating little girls. I still don't understand why people bring up that some of these little girls had sick, flucked up parents who were cool with it, and took payouts and stuff. That doesn't change what R. Kelly did. I've heard so many people say that. It's sick, disgusting-ish. I mean, the dude was a serial little girl violator. And I know when they hit him with the RICO, like, even though just because that doesn't have some big gang name or like mob type thing, it was still an enterprise, because he ran around generating revenue and committing criminal acts. And they got a lot of people in that case. We're talking about people being flipped and cooperating. R.I.P. Aaliyah, his illegal marriage to Aaliyah. Individuals who falsified paperwork and stuff like that to put that she was older, court clerks and stuff like that, they were all charged in that. A lot of them, though, like I said, they flipped and gave the feds what they needed against him. So we'll see how it all goes down with Diddy. Someone says R. Kelly was declared a criminal enterprise for going after young girls. LOL. So he would have to be an enterprise doing something. Otherwise, they could throw almost any person in jail for life for all crimes. LOL. And then the same individual said, that is why I do not see how RICO stands without trafficking charges. RICO for what? We'll read these last comments and then we'll close this thing out. But once again, y'all subscribe, join the discussion, comment. 4 weeks away, do you believe the trial will happen? What do you think will happen, his chances and all that? Just your thoughts on the case, period, the feds, the R. Kelly situation. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more content over here where we talk music, news, sports, current events, all kinds of stuff. It's easy to tell someone what they should do when you're on the outside, not dealing with being on the inside, right? But it's hard to push it back with no bail. That's another reason, too, I'm sure, why Diddy wants to get into court and the feds are known to do, right? Not allow someone to bail out. If you're fighting a case on the outside, free, bailed out, you want that case pushed back. Yeah, take your time, whatever. When you're sitting there locked, deflucked up in a very rough federal holding facility in which Diddy is in, you want to get this thing over with. You know, like if you got to do a bid, you want to be in a spot where you can bid more comfortably and have more privileges and stuff like that. Diddy is in a rough spot. One man Rico, Officer Vlad. Yes, they just want him to sit down for a while. He's going to beat it unless there is a smoking gun. So, you know, do they have some kind of ace up their sleeve? What is there that we're not privy to? What will the trial bring upon the world? It's really something I'm intrigued to see. You know what I mean? It's a very big case. Who would have thunk? 2025, Diddy taking on the feds. He beat that big state case in New York with the gun. You know, when the Shyne incident happened. Now here Shyne is trying to push into the political world with these political aspirations in his native country of Belize, trying to follow in his father's footsteps and become prime minister like his father was. But that situation has held him from doing that. You know what I mean? Being a convicted felon in the US of A. Shyne has this opposition, you know, which is trying to, he's the leader of the opposition, which is trying to change that his criminal situation will hold him back. And that's another situation in which the feds got involved in the case. Or they were questioning J-Lo about that. Did he make you hold the strap? You know what I mean? As some people have said, he forced J-Lo to be involved in all that. And, you know, J-Lo did a documentary a year or two ago where she spoke more about her relationship with Diddy and how bugged the fuck out it was, you know, that she shared. That Diddy was like, you know, we know J-Lo after Diddy was with so many motherfuckers, married a few times. And there was reports of her and Ben Affleck breaking up, that the feds were trying to play dirty just within this past year, you know, that because of her reluctance to get involved in the federal prosecution of Diddy with what we were just talking about, that old case, that they sent Ben Affleck some footage of her getting down at some kind of freak off or something like that. You know, Suge Knight was saying that. Is it true? Is it accurate? Did that play a factor into them splitting or something like that? I don't know, you know, but she shared in documentary thing that she did that she really loved Diddy, but she said he was on some weird-ish. He would be out all hours of the night. How did the man stay awake? She just was like, what was he out there doing? Now it makes a little more sense, you know, but it's just crazy. Subscribe. Look forward to hearing what everyone's gotta say. This trial is going to be huge, man. Can Diddy beat the feds? We must wait and see. But thanks for tapping in with Jay Coffee. Till next time, I'm out of here, guys. Peace. God bless. Have a great, productive day. The sun is most definitely shining, y'all.